Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy IV. I am Drak, and we are continuing our path down the Lunar Subterrane to finish this game. We are actually going to confront the final boss pretty soon, but like most final dungeons, it takes a couple of parts for us to get through it all, especially since final weapons and such. So, last time, we began the Lunar Subterrane. We even took on, can't remember the actual name, the White Dragon to get the... we took on the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, that's what we did. We took on the White Dragon to get Murasame for Edge. That's his final weapon. But unfortunately, we've still got plenty left to go. We're right now getting a lot of chests with armor. And so, unfortunately, that's not what we're looking to get. But apparently, random encounters were not my friend right now. So, hopefully we can fix that soon. And people might be wondering, why am I running into these corners and walls? Believe it or not, secrets are everywhere in this dungeon, so you want to look around. As you've kind of seen in the previous part, you can find chests pretty much anywhere, so it's good to check the walls. It's good to check the corners, because you never know when you actually might be able to walk in that area. So hopefully this week is being good to everybody. For me, it's not so much. We actually had a little bit of a home situation happen. How best do I put this? So apparently we had a pipe leaking in the house, and we didn't notice it, and so it was inside the walls. And so we started, when we were cleaning out one of our closets, we noticed a little bit of wet carpet in there and mold on the wall. So we're like, crap, this is going to look like hundreds of dollars of damage and all that we would need to fix. Thankfully, though, my father-in-law is a very good handyman, and so him and me were actually able to find the leak. So we have an exposed wall in one of our closets while we wait for a plumber, because unfortunately the pipe is wedged into a beam, and we don't want to damage that. But yeah, it was a hole about the size of a pinhead. That's how big it was, and water was just flowing out of it. So thankfully we have that fixed, and we're actually gonna have to wait a week before we can get a plumber in to fix it. But you know what? It's not leaking anymore. We've taken care of the carpet. We've taken care of some of the mold. So things have kind of resolved themselves. I hate to bore you guys with my daily life, but that's what's been going on. Also, one thing that might be of interest to people is I actually began live streaming last week, so if you guys haven't seen it, the video is Drak Let's Play Live, and I just played for 2 hours some Hearthstone, not only tackling the new single-player adventure Blackrock Mountain, but also I took on some multiplayer, so a lot of people on Battle.net were exposed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any friends in or get in any fans, but we're going to work on that. We're going to try and find a way to... I'm working on a way to get my Battle.net tag on the screen so that I don't have to tell people, look in the description below. You can just see on the screen what my Battle.net tag is, and you can friend me, and we can play live. So I actually think things went relatively well. Very little problems with the stream. So we are going to go ahead and do that again this week. And if you guys have watched the Final Fantasy IV part, you should. You guys get a sneak peek as to what we're going to be playing on the live stream. Now, a lot of people will go, "Oh, very original," but you know, I can't help but throw it out. So, Heroes of the Storm, the MOBA from Blizzard, actually just barely launched this week, as of today, when I'm recording this, June 2nd. So, in order to celebrate that, because Heroes of the Storm is a great game, and I might be a little biased in saying that, because I have not taken on many other MOBAs aside from this. This is my first MOBA. I enjoy the heck out of it, and also the fact that it's heroes that I know helps that process. So, we're going to go ahead and tackle that. I want to get people in again on multiplayer, so I will put up my Battle.net tag so that people can friend me and we can actually play together or play against each other. But there you go, sneak peek. It's Heroes of the Storm this Friday, and you guys can enjoy all the MOBA action, and all of the people can complain that I'm a horrible Blizzard fan and blah, 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 blah. I dislike this game, and I will admit, so one of the things I usually get into this, or each week, is the games that I've been playing, trying to get done to make my list not that huge. Like, we started up in Mystic Quest, and I am so thankful to say that list was huge when we started, and now it is considerably shorter, so I can actually play next-gen games. Holy crap. I'm so excited about that. You know, I have a PS4 and a Wii U that kind of sit there and collect dust, and I go and get the occasional retro title, and that's about it. You know, I'm not trying to be a dork with that, but that's the way that things have been going. Thankfully, that's changed a little bit as of late, and mostly because of the Let's Plays. So I guess I owe you guys a thank you. You guys actually got me up off my butt to start clearing that out. So, and unfortunately, this week didn't really happen. And the main reason is that a lot of stuff came up. I had to kind of readjust my schedule a little bit and rework things. And since I also have a bunch of projects that are in dry run or recording now, those kind of take priority at the beginning of the week, and that's what took up a good portion of that. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to any new titles, unless you consider Hearthstone, which, if people have watched the live stream by this point, you will know that Blackrock Mountain I had not gotten my hands on. I had just barely done all of the normal encounters in Curse of Noxramas, so Blackrock Mountain was a whole new set of wings to be able to look forward to. And to the people who are a little confused, who don't really know Blizzard lore, they keep on going, why are you calling it Blackrock Mountain? Blackrock Mountain in the Warcraft universe is pretty pivotal. In fact, the first 2 raids of World of Warcraft were both based in Blackrock Mountain. And so, and in fact, this Hearthstone this Hearthstone solo adventure, because they try to separate them, is basically a reimagining of those raids in Hearthstone. And to people who haven't played Hearthstone, first of all, you should. It is a really good card game, and that's saying a lot from me. I used to be very hardcore into card games, and then I kind of gave up. I even looked at Hearthstone originally and said, card game, I can't do it again. And I immediately picked it up because a friend recommended it to me, said you wouldn't hate it. And he's been right ever since. It's been a real fun thing to get into and do for 5 minutes, and then walk back out again. And one of the things they do with the solo adventures is that they take the arts and designs of World of Warcraft and just make them more cartoony. So that's one of those things that I loved about Curse of Noxramas, is that every time you won a boss encounter, Kel'Thuzad would either get mad at you or just say, he was easy. This one takes into inspiration the first 2 raids, so, and they are all kind of wings. So the first place you started off is actually a 5-man dungeon, but back in the day, I think you could do it with like 15, 20 people, or 10 or 15 people, and that was Blackrock Depths. That's been split up since then in WoW, but they decided, okay, well, we're gonna take 4 encounters from Blackrock Depths and make them into Hearthstone battles, or Hearthstone, card battles, for lack of a better word. And then the second wing is the Molten Core, which was the first ever raid of World of Warcraft. The third wing is based on Blackrock Spire, which has a lot of history in World of Warcraft. If people have seen the Leroy Jenkins incident, that happened in Upper Blackrock Spire. The next wing is Blackwing Lair, and then it ends with where Cataclysm tried to recreate Blackwing Lair and made it Blackwing Descent. So the final wing is actually a homage to Blackwing Descent. And I think that's actually a good thing to do is to honor all homage to all the pivotal places in Blackrock Mountain. And Depths and Blackrock Spire are perfect for that, as well as Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, and Blackwing Descent. And so I'm loving them. And I took on a few of the encounters on the live stream, but I have not been able to put that dang thing down. So I apologize, guys. But you might even catch me like trying to do the heroic encounters or whatever, because I am totally interested in doing that. And right now I am almost done with the final wing. I am working on Atramenes. And one of the things that I'm actually doing is I mentioned this in the live stream. I tend to not customize too much. Like I'll customize with the decks that I prefer, like Druid and things like that. But with normal mode, I actually kind of went with basic decks of various classes, just to refresh myself with them, plus gain the advantages that they might have against that boss. And that's one of the things that I really liked about Curse of Noxramas and later Blackrock Mountain, is that you could have those moments of, yes, a paladin is better than a priest against a particular fight, and because of that fight's mechanics. And I think it's actually a really good idea for Blizzard, from a Blizzard perspective, to get people to play the other classes. Otherwise, people would just specialize in one, and they would always be that. And like, if there was ever an overpowered class, you'd be seeing tons of it. So this gives playability to all the other classes, plus all the daily quests that they try and do. So that's taken up a lot of my time. I have been enjoying the heck out of it. I actually started up Curse of Noxramas Heroic, which I hadn't done before, and it's way more enjoyable than I actually gave it credit for. I thought it was going to be like World of Warcraft Heroics, and for I guess now the difficulty would be considered Mythic. And even though I've done Mythic, it's not the funnest thing in the world for me. But Hearthstone Heroic, yeah, it's been worth it. And so, yeah, that's been taking up a good portion of my time. I've been beefing up classes I wasn't really all that proficient in to bring them into these boss fights and get at least a little bit of an advantage. And it just kind of encourages me to go out and get all those specific parts so that I can build better decks. And also gain an appreciation for the classes again. Because one of the things I would really like to do, because believe me, you have not seen the end of Hearthstone. We are going to bring it back. One of the things I would really like to do on a live stream is go and do the arena, which is actually kind of my weakest suit. Just because I think I pick well-balanced cards, but then I always get trounced. It's probably because of the class I picked, but I don't know. So one of the things that I would really like to do on a live stream is take on the arena and get good at it, so that I can eventually start doing like ranked matches with you guys, maybe even fellow YouTubers, who knows. And so that's been taking up a lot of my extra time. Also, I will admit, World of Warcraft has taken up a bit of my extra time, and that's just because right now, I'm kind of in a lull at this point. My guild was running Heroic Blackrock Foundry. I was about to say Depths. And we kind of hit a slump. We were working on Black Hand, and unfortunately, I think a lot of people just kind of got burned out. And unfortunately, Blackrock Foundry has lasted a little bit longer than I think even Blizzard wanted it to. And so we're just kind of taking a break to wait for the next patch, which will be Hellfire Citadel, and then hopefully we'll start things up. If not, then I'll probably have to work out other things. But so my WoW time has been actually kind of limited towards things that I'm actually working on other characters. So I'm trying to beef up alts in the LFR raids, as well as in normal if I can get in there, just so that I can have some class variety, just to be able to help out my raid team. But also I've been working on personal pet projects, like trying to get legendaries on specific characters. So like my main character, my druid, I'm actually trying to get Dragon Wrath, because I did not do that. I was not a boomkin in Cataclysm. I was mainly a bear. so I always wanted to go back and get the Dragon Wrath staff, and I decided, okay, let's do it. So I've been working on that. I'm in the last step of that, and it's been a pain, but at least I can solo it now. You know, we're to a point with Warlords of Draenor where soloing Cataclysm up to Cataclysm content is easy to do, thankfully. Because if it wasn't, then I'd be screwed. I'm also been doing transmog runs for various gear sets on my other ults so that they can look all snazzy when I bring them to Draenor. Because I don't make light of this. I have many times in World of Warcraft called myself a transmog whore, and it's because I like some of the gear sets that come out each patch and expansion, and I want to be able to have them to say, you know, today I want to look like this. And so that's... And the funniest thing is, like, in World of Warcraft, I don't get into the pet battles or collecting mounts or pets or anything like that. What, transmog? Or transmogrification? Yeah, I'm totally engorged in that. To the people who don't play WoW, what is transmogrification? It is basically making a piece of gear, so like a shoulder guard or a chest plate, look like a previous set. So, but it's to make it look like that previous set. So, in order to do that, though, you need to own that piece, which means you have to go out and farm really old raids and really old dungeons to get those sets. And I have been enjoying the heck out of doing that, especially since I can solo it, which means I can do it at my own pace. And right now, I know somebody out there is just bored to tears with all the Blizzard talk. I'm sorry. I promise I will get to other things this week now that I've adjusted my schedule. But unfortunately, you know, you guys want to know what I've been playing during the week? Hearthstone dragged me back in, and I've been playing a lot of that. And in the meantime, I usually play like WoW at late night, getting ready for bed. So that's kind of a norm for me regularly. Because some days I need to have like that moment where I can just sit back and not have to think about what I'm doing. And thankfully, WoW can be repetitive enough that you can do that. It's either that or I grind in other games. Because that's my life. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. Hopefully I haven't bored you guys. I think I'm just gonna name this thing Blizz Talk, because that's what I've been doing. And actually, one other Blizzard thing that I actually need to go into. So somebody actually did ask, if you got in, would you cover the latest addition to the Blizzard mythos, Overwatch? Abso-freaking-lutely. I am not a shooter guy. People will know I've played rare shooters. I play shooters very rarely, is what I mean. I've played Portal, I've played BioShock. I play shooters that have really good stories, roughly. And Overwatch has actually been one of those multiplayer shooters, because I used to play things like Call of Duty and, well, not so much Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront and things like that. However, nothing's really caught my interest like Overwatch has. And maybe it's just because I'm a hardcore Blizzard fan, but I love the aesthetic of Overwatch. It feels so much like The Incredibles to me that, yes, if I got into the beta, and Blizzard, if you're listening, because I even put it in my beta tag, you give me access to Overwatch, I'll play it. I'll play it live, and we'll have fun. Because I am excited for that. So yes, I'll be tackling that. I will be tackling other Blizzard multiplayer experiences too. Will you guys see me playing WoW? I don't know yet. I'm not really a part of the WoW YouTube community. I'd like to be. I always want to be part of as many communities as I can be, so I might. But right now, I'm kind of hesitant about doing WoW, because there's so much coverage of it. But like StarCraft 2 I thought about doing that, like the original StarCraft, just to get you guys up to speed before Legacy of the Void, because I would love to be able to do that. Let's play blind if I could. Diablo 3, I also would love to do that, because Diablo is another game where you can just play for the heck of it. That might be more of a single-player experience, though, just like working on a barbarian or whatever. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I also am looking for games to bring in as a single-player experience to the live streams. And if you guys have suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I do read them. So, and I may not have that game, but I will at least put it on the list. But mostly the live streams I really want dedicated to multiplayer experiences, where I can play with you guys. And as we go along, I'll get better at it, and so at that point, we might even add things like fighting games. I would really love to add in like Street Fighter. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually add in Mortal Kombat X. Because a lot of people actually complained that they didn't see me on Gaming with the Geeks playing Mortal Kombat X. There was a reason to that. Aldo actually had to go that night, and so I wanted to get his experience in there, since he is way more into fighting game scene than I am. At least I like to make that claim. And so you guys may actually see me on MKX, which means I actually have to get around to finishing the story mode, so people won't complain. Maybe we'll take on some of the DLC, I don't know. One of the things I would really like to do when I actually get an Xbox One is Killer Instinct, because I'm loving watching that stuff on like Maximilian's channel. It's awesome. And like I said, any multiplayer suggestions, leave a comment below. I will look into it. I may not necessarily take it up. Like, if you suggest Call of Duty, I might tell you no. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings, but there are certain games I'm just not interested in playing, and therefore not willing to dole out $60 to get just for a live stream, because, you know, money's money. So I hope you don't take offense to that, but that's just the way things are going. Now, people might be wondering, we're at a save point right now. We're actually going to tackle a really difficult fight for Cecil's final weapon, the Ragnarok. And man, this is basically Bahamut 2.0. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut this thing short, because that took a while to do. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and we will be back next week for more Final Fantasy IV.